How are we all doing, game friends? I'm Chris Slight. Who are you?
I am Steve McNeil.
Who are you?
I'm Ian Dransfield.
Who are you?
I'm Simon Chung. I'm not going to sing my name.
But we are the game friends who talk about games, and we should talk about games. And the only problem I've currently got is the games I've been playing are the games we talked about last week, which is I've now got Forza 6.
It's like you're playing some really long game that takes longer than a week to finish.
It is, really, isn't it?
No such thing.
And Destiny, I've been playing.
Not a game, it's a job.
Yeah, Destiny.
You put in the hours. If you put in the hours, it's not a game.
Taken King's a lot of fun. Taken King feels more like Halo. It's good. It's they've gone
like Halo either.
I've played all of Halo. I love Halo. I've got the Master Chief Collection. I've got all my original copies of Halo. Halo is one of my favourites. The original Halo.
Do you swim in them like Scrooge McDuck?
The games. I try, but there's not many. So Destiny is. It's quite a lot like Halo to me, in as much as it feels like Bungie have actually gone, we should try and add some like drama and structure and narrative to all our missions now, because that was a thing that people really seem to desire.
They are doing, with what I've seen from Halo 5, 343 are doing that kind of thing, but they're taking it in more of like a standard modern military shooter direction, whereas Destiny does still feel like original Halo.
Oh, really? Because
New Halo feels like every other shooter.
See,
I haven't played it apart from the beta stuff, the single player stuff. I've only seen them playing, like sat in a room and watched them play, which is great fun.
Yeah.
But it was, aiming down iron sights and everything. Like didn't seem as like airy with the jumps and stuff, and it didn't look much like Halo.
See, I saw those videos of Halo 5 Guardians, and I was super excited
to give it its full title.
To give it its full title and the respect it deserves.
I
was really excited, man. I saw that and I was like, because it felt more like Halo than Halo 4 did. And I enjoyed Halo 4, but I didn't enjoy it as much as, say, ODST or Reach.
Any of the Bungie ones.
Yes, essentially. And
so you like Bungie games, really?
Yeah, I do like Bungie
Yeah,
games, but this looks really good. I think Halo 5 Guardians are good. Plus, isn't some of the Republic Commando people working on that? If I recall, Star Wars. Oh, anyway, Star Wars Republic Commando is
I should
an older
verbalise
game.
my shrug, really.
Yeah.
Shrug.
Yeah.
Think of the listeners at home. Ian shrugged.
It was an awesome game.
I have a question on Destiny.
Go on. We'll talk Destiny before I get too deep in Star Wars Republic Commando.
Fine. Because I played Destiny when it first came out.
Yeah.
And then gave up when it was all the light and all the nonsense.
Yes.
And I'm aware of all the changes that are supposed to be going on now. Taken King, it's version 2.0 and all that. But like if I just wiped everything and started again on Destiny now, like playing through the story again and going through the expansion stuff, how different would my experience be now, starting from the start?
Not very different.
Okay.
I mean, the game. You've now got Nolan North doing the voice of your little guy.
But it's the same dialogue, presumably. They haven't
There's
added more in.
there's more dialogue in it.
Is there?
Because there's little bits you can scan and he'll say a little
Because
thing.
Nolan North is cheaper than Peter Dinklage, so
Yes.
you can get him to do more.
More stuff. So there's more stuff in it, and once you hit level 20, you won't have to worry about light.
Yeah,
you can
you
just
don't
do
have to
XP.
dick about with that anymore.
Light is a thing. Light levels are a thing, and they affect stuff like you have to have a certain light level to do a harder difficulty.
Okay.
So if it kind of caters to, if you want to be more hardcore and you want to grind to have a further light level, you are probably also the sort of person that will want to do things on a harder difficulty. So it kind of
I'm the
works.
kind of person who puts in
So
the hours.
past level
which I do, yeah.
So past level 20, what am I having to do now to get leveled up enough to take on Taken King and things like that?
The Crucible's a good way to go.
Okay.
But you will have to like grind stuff. And
You still
do
got to grind and
your rep and all things like that. So it's still.
I think that's the thing I hadn't quite got
my.
my head around. I don't know if anybody listening, this might be really, really stupid, or some people might think this as well. But I didn't know if whether with the expansions of the way they've reskinned it, whether it was going to have more narrative filling in that progression up to like level 32 or wherever it got to last time I looked at it.
No, they haven't added any more narrative to the base game. There's
right.
the second expansion. Was the second expansion House of Wolves?
I don't remember. One of them was
second
called
expansion was House of Wolves. The first one was The Dark Below. House of Wolves definitely has a better story, and Taken King has a better story than the other one. So as you went through it, and especially if you bought like the box set thing with everything in it, you would find it gets better as it goes along, and you get a bit more explanation for stuff.
that. They actually started trying here.
They have. It's
They've had time to sit down rather than being whipped and forced to
yeah.
release a game.
That is kind
Allegedly.
of the vibe.
It's the experience. It's the experience of that though. Like if you get 100 hours into this game and you're playing the last mission in the story mode, are you not frustratedly sort of go, why didn't you tell me that plot point or that piece of exposition
How do you mean? Do you think you're feeling
In
like?
the missions, you were sort of saying it's filled in the story and what's going on in the world. So.
Yeah, I never.
I mean, I know there was that little online thing that I've forgotten the name of. where you could-
Grimoire
Grimoire.
cards. Yeah,
Let's completely excise the story and put it all online, and you can't even see it in the game. And
much preferable.
For no
sure,
reason.
yeah, why
It
not?
was.
Because we live in 1994 or something.
Just don't like Destiny.
No,
No,
this is
well,
the thing.
this is
like-
the thing. I was
like
fishing
it.
because I really liked it when I played through the mission. Then I got sick
Yeah.
of it really quickly. And what I was fishing for and all that was going, would I like it more now? And no one said anything that's
I
convinced
don't
me
think
that
if you didn't
I
like
won't
it to
care
begin
more
with,
than I did.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed it to begin with, so I was fine,
Yeah.
Well, look,
and I
with it-
accepted how it was.
I'll just
And
give it that it looks beautiful, but I can't.
It does.
I can't beyond that. I have no interest.
don't care.
No, just don't care.
no, I'm really enjoying the Taken King, and I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Well,
And
it's divided the room, hasn't it?
well, I mean,
I'm actually a bit on the fence about Destiny.
Okay.
I think it's kind of like my right butt cheek is on the fence, my left butt cheek's hovering over one side.
Which side is your left butt cheek hovering over?
My left butt cheek is hovering over the side of dislike.
Right.
Okay.
But
How come?
my right butt cheek is firmly planted on the fence with a little bit of excess butt cheek vaguely
Having a
going
look.
over into the I like it
yeah.
side.
What percentage of your right butt cheek would you say is over the fence?
Of my right butt
Stats.
cheek, I'd say it's probably about 48%.
Okay.
Huh?
All right. So slightly
God,
less,
so
than,
it's
slightly
like-
less than half.
So
Yeah.
a quarter of you really.
Yeah, a
So
quarter
slightly
of my
under a quarter
entire
of you.
bum,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
but
over in the light.
just about half of one butt
Yeah.
cheek.
And presumably, Chris, you're just in the field running around
My
naked.
bum,
with your
yeah,
butt
it's-
arse
it's
all
out,
over
flapping
that
in the
grass.
breeze.
Yo, it's out, and I've just run out of the shower, the bungee shower, and I'm fresh as a baby running around.
There is light shining out of your
Oh.
arse.
Peter Dinklage has been kicked out of the garden, but me
He's
and
on our
Nolan North
side.
are holding hands now, running around.
Wow. Well, I guess what everybody who's listening to this and who's listened before is thinking off the back of that is, how does that convert into kazoos?
Oh, Destiny the Taken King. Now, Destiny the Taken King, I think, because I've heard, and I haven't finished it yet because of the other game I've been playing, but I've heard it's not very long, so it loses a kazoo for that.
Okay.
But I would still give it, to me, solid 3 kazoos. So who hates it the most and doesn't want to be involved in the kazooing? Simon dropped his kazoo to the ground.
I never picked one up and Simon just spat his on the floor.
Well,
It's all right. I'm back already.
okay. 3
Three
kazoos.
3 kazoos.
Yeah, lovely. Right, well, the other game I've been playing, we talked about at length last time, so I'm not going to go too much into it. But Forza 6,
Still got puddles.
it's still got puddles, it's out now, and I have played a hell of a lot of Forza 6. That's pretty
Good
much
game,
all I
isn't
did
it?
over the weekend. It's
Well,
brilliant.
I saw you mention that you would. It's the game that you would probably get a steering wheel for, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can
Is
see
it-
that making sense.
They're expensive is the only reason I
Yeah.
haven't. It's ridiculously fun, and I would get a steering wheel for that because I'm deep, and I do feel when I'm playing the car has like a little wobble to it because I'm steering with a trigger, and I think I could do a really smooth turn with an actual wheel here. This would be really good.
That's what we get because my dad has got a lot of like racing wheels for the various
Yeah.
kinds of things he's got, and you should try them out before you buy, because some of them obviously have the force feedback and some
Yes.
of them don't. And I found it really hard to get used to the ones that actually feedback. So although it's a worse wheel technically to have the ones that don't have the feedback, I found it much easier to get a smooth line and enjoy doing it.
Yes.
Because
When I
it's not
didn't have-
fighting against
Yeah, because you are really fighting against it, and you don't drive, do you, Chris?
No, this
But
is
so I
probably
do
why I
drive,
like these
and
games so much.
I don't think the wheels that give you feedback feel like a
No,
car
they
has
don't at all.
ever felt.
Yeah.
No.
I
So
would
it
agree
doesn't
with that.
These are
help.
angry car
Yeah.
drivers.
It's
You can
bizarre.
tell the two of us who don't drive. That's myself and Chris.
I was like, would it not? Does it not rumble?
No.
Like,
Are you not always going 150 miles an hour through puddles?
Yeah, is that
in
not
your
a
Ford
thing?
GT?
Yeah.
Even if you-
2017 model? What?
I mean,
Is that not standard?
I often am, obviously. I
you
often
are,
am.
yeah, you're an international
Steering wheel
playboy,
like me.
but
But it just feels like they push back. It exaggerates the extent to which it pushes back compared to when you're driving an actual car, and I
It
find
makes
that.
it gamey.
Yeah,
Ah,
it does.
okay.
Which
So-
seems weird because I think of the wheel as a thing to simulate the experience.
yes, that was why I would get it.
And actually, it's weirder to me than a controller. Yeah.
I can remember, kind of an aside on force feedback wheels. My dad has never given a shit about any video games, apart from when he saw me playing Sega Rally 2 in the arcade.
Sega
And I
Rally
had
2.
force feedback wheels.
Dads like a steering wheel, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
and when the car went over a big ramp and then hit the ground, the wheel would judder in my hands, and my dad was just like not really paying attention, then saw that and leaned over.
Wait a
Does
minute.
Does that moving
the
your
machine.
hand. Yes. Also, it can think and it's watching you. And then he ran away.
And he went, well, that's not right.
Doesn't
son.
like, he doesn't like technology, that man.
And would you get pedals as well, or would you just?
Oh yeah, if I was going to do it, I'd have pedals.
Would you get the big seat and everything?
No, that feels weird. I do find there
you
are.
should
Just
the whole
get a
hog.
car at that point.
But
really.
what
No?
there are those.
Probably be about the
Get all
same.
the constituent parts, fit them together, and then build your own car.
That's how you learn to drive it.
Driving with a force
Those,
feedback wheel.
those gaming seats, though, do look like big booster seats for adults, though.
Yes.
Like, they're a bit weird. Like, I look at them and they're like, there's ones that are on the floor that, like, you
Like
lay on
rad
and, like,
speakers built in.
yeah,
I don't know,
they look
once-
like adult booster seats. They're
Yeah,
really
they really
weird.
do.
Like,
Once you've got the
like
wheel and
baby
pedals,
kid seats.
Once you've got the wheel and pedals, why not go
The full hog.
all out and just get an entire room dedicated to it?
With, like,
a
4
small
screens.
A small metal room outside with windows on it and
Yes.
wheels and
Yes.
stuff. A car.
I should just get a car, is what you're
Just get
saying.
a car, yeah.
Do you want to lift somewhere or something? Is that
Yes,
Can you get a
basically.
car, mate?
It was difficult to get here. I want a car so I can have an easy journey home because I won't be driving. So it's
Nah,
fine.
that's fair enough. Forza 6, then, yeah, I've really enjoyed it. I put in tons of hours. I'm going to put in tons more hours.
Do you
so.
think it's as twatty as I was saying the other week?
It is, but I was fully prepared
And
for
that's
that.
coming from a man who isn't a massive cynic like I am.
Yeah, it's very twatty. Like, I do like that I can now skip videos though when it begins. It's like the way of the road. I'm like goodbye. Like I'm like I don't care, and it lets me skip that though. So the music is there. I kind of do like the dun 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 dun.
It depends on the
music.
situation. It's the point when it was annoying me is when I was pootling around in a crappy little like a Ford Fiesta or something.
Oh, I was driving around in a little classic. Like it was, I was having a right old time, and it was
no
still
need
like
for it to be that dramatic. I want like on the buses music or something. First thing that comes to my head. I always want on the buses music.
Well, who doesn't want on the buses at this stage?
Or the Benny Hill theme, actually.
Yeah, you're a Benny Hill theme kind of guy.
Oh yeah,
No, fair enough.
that's
But
how I run.
Forza 6 though. Speaking of theme tunes, I'm going to give it some kazoos.
Did we not give it a
I think
kazoo
we
last
did
week?
give it kazoos last time, but now it's my kazoos.
Oh, okay,
for
okay.
Forza
Oh, is
6.
that how the kazoos? I suppose it's just an evolving beast, isn't it?
It is,
So
it
the
is.
second episode. All right.
I'd give it 4 kazoos.
Oh well,
Done.
then no change.
No, at all. Simon Chong, what have you been playing?
Well, it's another one that we spoke about last week. I think this is just episode 1, part 2, really, isn't it? With,
1.5, 1.8, or
okay.
whatever you go, Kingdom Hearts style.
Mario Maker. I've got it now. Last time we did an episode, you had played it.
Oh, I
Steve.
had actually. Well, actually,
hadn't.
I'm glad we come back to Mario Maker because I've got a couple of amendments. I think on the Mario Maker.
Oh, really?
Have you decided you hate it?
I
And you
haven't
want it to
no.
buzz
It's
now?
livid now.
Haven't decided I hate it. But there's 2 things that have changed it because obviously I had the media copy because it hadn't come out when we recorded last time.
Yes.
And a couple of things are different. The first thing is they did listen to feedback and change the way you unlock
Yes.
all of the elements that you can use in your level
Oh,
design.
really?
So before, I think last time in the last episode, I said that it was over 9 days. And
Yeah.
you got but what they've done now is it's through gameplay. So once you basically it gives you a tutorial, and then as long as you place each block at least once, each new block, and then scribble over it for about 5 minutes, it will give you the next bunch of stuff. So within about an hour, you can get it all rather than waiting a week and a
Which
half.
is what I did.
So that was
That
good.
makes more sense.
And the other thing that I found out for anybody who was maybe put off about the amiibo thing is that we talked about how you can place the amiibos on the gamepad and that unlocks a pixel version of that in the 8-bit Mario thing.
Yeah.
You can actually unlock them all by playing the course world thing. So if you play 8 or 16 levels designed by other people on planet Earth, it will unlock a random one of these
Right,
100.
so you don't have to spend the money to
You don't
get
have to
your
pay any
little-
money to get all of them, but you have got to play
See, now
about
I'm back on board.
1,600 levels to get them all.
well, I'm
but
back
that's
on board
all right.
still.
But yeah,
Yeah.
That's
so
the thing. I don't want to pay an extra 20 quid for something, but I'll happily play 13.
if I've got to grind to get the pointless thing, that's sort of okay. But so
I'm used
tho-
to that.
yeah.
That's what I used to do.
So those are both really good things. Still no checkpoints, but hopefully they've already been updating the game. So fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
still
we'll
no
get
checkpoints.
as well.
So what I've learned from it is that people are terrible at making Mario courses. Is all I've learned. Like, oh my god, I'm not claiming to be an incredible Mario
I don't know, it sounds
Mario
like you
Maker
are.
level designer. I mean, I really am.
Yeah.
But oh god, so people don't seem to realise that they don't have to make their level really hard. You don't have to. You can
yeah.
make it easy, and it's still fun. It's Mario, but everyone seems to think like, oh, I'm going to hide 1 million blocks, and that you have to hit them all before you can carry on. Like the person who's made it knows where those blocks are. I don't have a fucking clue.
No, it's when it's just trial and error. It's
Yeah,
utterly
and
tedious.
exactly. Mario is a game where you generally fail because you're not good enough at what you can see is coming, not running
Skill.
towards something and not knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's not what Mario is, and I think a lot of people miss that when they're making their level. So I've played so many, and
Just dross.
And you can see the percentage of how many people have completed it. And it's like 0.1% of people finish it because the level's too hard.
Yeah.
So every time I've been making my levels, basically I was reading some interview with a developer, and he said that when he's making games, his boss will be like, when you think you've finished designing your level, make it 33% easier, and then when you've done that, make it 33% easier again, and then you're at the level that people can play it at, because you know how to do it, but no one else does.
Yeah.
So fucking bear that in mind when you're making your Mario Maker levels. It drives me nuts.
I agree.
Yeah. Although again, a caveat in that, as things I've learned as I've played more with the retail version, is that when you do play through, like the thing that unlocks the amiibos, the course world thing, where you get 100 lives to complete 8 or 16 of the things that other people have created, you can skip a level. If it's just unbearably shit, you can skip it without being punished and just be given a different one to have a go at. So you don't get trapped in people's dreadful A Million Invisible Block levels, which is it's well considered. But it's a shame that people are making either dross or the automated ones where you just have to stand still and the level plays out.
That's fun for one, where you watch it and go, that's quite cool, but 10 of them, no thanks.
Yeah, Chris and I were playing a few Mario Maker levels the other day on the Loading Bar stream, and it just jumped between trying out the levels that people had designed that were super hard. One where if you stood still for more than half a second, you died straight away. And flip between those kinds of levels and then the automated ones. And at one point we did make the mistake of doing 2 automated ones in a row. So you did one and it was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's nice to have done that. Oh, they've got a musical track in the back. Oh, that's really cool.
Smart.
Then you do another one and you're like,
Yep.
I'm standing still.
Yeah, it's...
And you actually start getting edgy and you see, like, I just want to do something.
Yeah.
And then you go back to another level and someone's made it.
Yeah,
really
for all the horrible levels like that, there really are some great ones. But
this
really
is,
well designed
none of this
great
is,
ones.
Yeah, none of this is a comment on the game itself.
Oh God,
this
of course,
no.
This
People
is
being twats.
Yes,
and
completely,
idiots.
yeah. I think whoever's moderating the online bit where it shows you
the leaderboard,
the leaderboards and stuff, the best ones. I think someone is trying at least. Usually
it seems curated, and the ones that are coming to the top are actually decent levels.
Yeah. And there are some really fun ones, like people have made like Mario Kart themed levels and stuff that play.
Yeah, there's a lovely racing one that I saw.
Yeah. Some of them are good, but sadly 90% of it is dog
As with
shit.
any user-generated content, most people are shit at it.
Yes.
That's why game design is a job and not just something everyone does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saying that, then my levels are incredible.
Oh,
no, obviously.
Where can you search names, or do you need
No,
codes?
you can't. You need codes, and
Have you memorised all your codes?
Yeah, because they're really short and easy.
like a soldier captured behind enemy lines.
Just like 369000093.
If you come across one called John Cena's Basement, don't attempt to play it.
That was the really difficult
That
one.
was
wasn't
horrible.
it?
Really?
We were given it over the chat because someone, I don't know,
come across
John
it.
Cena, and they know I like John Cena, and it was like John Cena's basement come on, and it's horrible. It's like, what do you think John Cena's basement's like?
It starts off and the first thing you see is Bowser falling from the roof into the lava, and you think, oh, this is obviously going to be great because the big bad's dead already.
Yeah.
But then you get hit by about 37 fireballs at once.
Yeah.
And,
it begins by just killing Bowser.
And
He dies.
this is the best thing that's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
And now you're dead again.
Yeah.
There's a really
so much fun.
horrible one where you go through and you have to make choices throughout it about how far you'd go to save your best friend.
I saw the video of this online.
Yeah, like it's really quite stressful. Like you go through, like how far would you go to save your friend? You've got 2 doors. One says far, not very far, and you like go through the far door, and then you see Yoshi stuck on a block, and there's a P block, and you've got to hit it to kill Yoshi to carry on, and then
it's
really
quite
fucked
impressive.
up.
It's like a heavy rain sort of thing.
Yeah, and then there's another one where it's like Wario's existential crisis or something, where Wario is Waluigi is just running around this level, and then like the coins spell out stuff like you're worthless, and
amazing.
You've got to change, otherwise you're not going to succeed.
Miyamoto on a bad day.
Something that has just occurred to me is that I don't think in the user levels that I've played so far I've seen a single cock.
Well, so what I think
Not one.
No.
I thought
I've seen a cock in Super Mario 3D World. I took a picture of it on Instagram.
Yes,
yeah.
What?
A full proper cock and balls with a proper head and everything.
Oh,
I'll find the image. It's
Please
it's
do.
a little bit of ground
It's like-
that you walk on, and it's like, well, that's just a knob.
cock and balls.
It's 2 platforms
I made
and
that.
with
Amazing.
buttons on it, and you hit the button, and there's a drawbridge, and the drawbridge falls down with so it's a big long drawbridge with the 2 buttons still at the bottom, and the bit it lands next to is like a bigger square.
Bigger square.
So I mean, it is
a knob
just
and balls.
straight up
Amazing.
a massive
Yeah.
cock.
And
And
I was just
Mario's
like,
running
whoa.
up and down it.
But not in Mario Maker, then?
No.
Not a single one.
Well, there you
Really?
go.
Has anyone?
None
I
spring
haven't,
to
no.
mind that I've seen. I would have cackled.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you
That
would.
would have been on Instagram as well. Any inadvertent penises end up on mine, so
I think I said
that's
last.
why the people follow me.
And advertent ones.
I think I said last.
Oh, no,
last
that's
time.
not my one.
What I'd like them to change about it is that if you do tap an amiibo, that actually changes the gameplay. Not just like,
Oh, yeah.
now you're Sonic and it plays exactly the same.
Yeah, I the first time I actually played it on that stream, the first level we tried was a Sonic homage. And yeah, you pick up the thing, turn into Sonic, and when you're sprinting as Sonic, he's doing the spinny thing.
Yeah, and it looks.
And I just like ran straight into the first enemy, thinking, "Yeah, I can spin through him because I'm Sonic."
No.
And it just went.
No.
Yeah,
'cause-
yeah, he should be able to do that.
it's
Like
just
if
Mario.
you're Link,
and
you
that
should be able to
confuses
fire
me
something.
because my brain is
Yeah.
geared to play these different
Yeah.
ways with these different characters.
Yeah, that's a shame. I really hope they do that. Add that in.
There was a Zelda one I
go on.
played that was good as well. Have you played? There's like a Legend of Zelda one.
Oh,
Legend
the
of Zelda
proper
one.
actual. They've tried to make like dungeons.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff
it's sort of
like
like a 2D. You've got to jump to move around it, but yeah,
Yeah.
that was quite cute.
Yeah,
It's still a good game, isn't it? Surely it's 4 kazoos.
I give it 4 kazoos.
Four kazoos.
Got to be 4 kazoos. Lovely stuff.
Well, Ian,
Hello.
what have you been playing, man?
Oh. It's that time of the year, so I've been playing FIFA and Pro Evo.
Wee football's coming home.
I love football, and I kind of love these series and have played them for 20 odd years, but I still get insanely bored when they come out.
Oh, really?
every year.
Is it just the same thing every? As someone who absolutely dislikes football to my very core, these games look the same every year, are they?
You're so hopeful for this, aren't you?
What? That,
I'm going to say yes.
yeah. Is it? Is it?
PES isn't, FIFA is.
Okay, well, halfy half.
I'm doing both at the same
Goody
time.
bad.
FIFA is...
FIFA.
FIFA's FIFA. FIFA is the polished, beautiful one. It's beautiful. It's the big budget production. It's so well presented. It's so perfectly done to match the TV coverage and all that kind of stuff. It's got all the teams that you could want. Most of the teams that you could want. All the
What
official
team hasn't it got that you
competitions.
wanted?
I'm trying to think which ones it doesn't have. It's probably missing a few different leagues.
Right, okay.
Just because of licensing issues and
Right,
blah,
right.
blah, 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 blah. But actually on the pitch it really hasn't changed very much from last year.
Yeah.
Like, so much so that I remember when I was doing the preview events earlier this year, I was going slightly insane because I just didn't know what to write.
Oh
So
god.
I just don't. They,
It's just the same as the other
yeah,
thing.
they give you talking points for it, and it's like all these talking points are shit.
Oh.
So you can
There's a
defend.
football.
You've always been able to defend. You can pass. Oh, you've always been. Obviously, one of the big things was that they've introduced women's football.
Yes.
Sure.
There's
After
only
the
so much you
series
can
has
say.
existed for 22 years, because women's football was invented last week or something.
Well, isn't the thing that it's quite big in America now, and women's
well,
football is apparently more popular in America than the men's.
Yes, but what I don't understand is women's football was more popular in America in the 90s when
was
FIFA
it?
existed.
Oh,
Around
I
the
got
time
no
of Mia
idea.
Hamm, captain in the US side, when I think they won a World Cup or something back then, and they didn't bother then. And now they have finally bothered. And it's great. It's a great addition. It's really good that it's in there, and they'll grow from that, and it'll grow the audience because it'll bring more people in. Like, I'd assume like young girls and stuff will say, oh, my footballing heroes are in there. I want to play it now, just like young boys do.
Yeah.
But it just feels a bit late, and I don't know.
So with
I'm torn on that one.
with-
It's really good, but yeah.
with PES, what makes that not as good?
PES is better.
Oh, is PES better?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
The reverse of that.
Oh.
But what makes PES better is the fact that it's been dog shit for the last 5-6 years. It's since the beginning of the Xbox 360, PS3 generation, PES never really took the step up to that generation properly.
Right.
And it was always a bit... It felt like the people making it hadn't really got to grasp with the technology and stuff, and then they started trying to add silly little gimmicky features to make up for the shortfalls.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work, and it got progressively worse. But then over the past, I think, 3 years, they've actually been really trying hard to make it good again.
Yeah.
And
Is that a new team or a new direction? Or
they opened a UK office,
Right.
PES Productions. I think it's based in London. And they I don't know how much input they have directly on like the development, but they do advise on a lot of things and
Right.
change a lot of things. And it just means like a few years ago there was a career mode where after every single match you got a report from like your secretary and had these unskippable cutscenes that told you the most pointless, banal information you could. Like even as a devout football fan, I did not give a shit about any of this
Oh,
stuff.
why would you? Yeah.
Yeah, and then yeah, they've removed all that. They've made it so menus are quick and it's just easy to get into and play. And then you get onto the pitch and it's just it's so good.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm playing. I know this would sound weird. It would sound weird if I was saying it about anything else, but it sounds all right to me here.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm playing a PS2 game again, and that's such a good thing.
Okay.
I genuinely missed how good PES was to play.
Oh, good. I honestly thought they'd stop making PES. I didn't even know that was still a thing.
They've been lucky in that. Well, not lucky. They've been intelligent in that it was always the most popular football game in South America.
Yeah.
And they concentrated on that. They added like the Copa Libertadores and stuff, which is the South American Champions League, and got a lot of licenses for South American teams, Brazilian, Argentine, Chilean teams and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is probably really boring.
No, I'm learning.
I'm fascinated because
I'm learning.
It's actually the next thing I've got to do for Jinx is FIFA and PES. So that's the next week and a half of my life is playing through them, and I haven't played football games since like sensible soccer and things. Really, I played it around a mate's drunk, but I've never got into them. And
I think FIFA. I'm obviously going to think this because I've said it, but I think with FIFA you're going to be playing it and you're going to understand that it looks great and it feels good and da-da-da, but it's just it's slower, it's not as responsive, it doesn't feel as much like a game. They're trying so hard to make it like real football. Yeah. That's not as much fun to play.
Exactly. That's always been the problem for me, because I know we're going to talk about another sports game in a minute, but that's always been my issue with sports games, is that I don't want a perfect recreation of the sport. I'm not going to suddenly lose myself and think I'm in a field kicking a ball.
Yeah.
I want to play a fun computer game based on the sport.
Exactly.
And that feels, from the outside, that feels like the difference between FIFA and PES. FIFA is a great simulation of looking at the thing. PES is fun to play if you like football.
And this year more so than in recent memory, and there was just a lost generation of PES games, and now the line for PES is every year, PES is back, and this year I can genuinely say PES is back. It's great. And another reason I think it feels better is because it feels like I'm always talking about feeling, which is quite hard to define, but it feels like it's the game that the people behind it are actually having to try harder, whereas FIFA's coasting. FIFA's been top for a long time, and they've got a lot of money and they've got a huge audience, and they can just make these tiny incremental changes. In fact, they're expected to make tiny incremental changes, because if they change it too much, they alienate the audience, they annoy millions of gamers, and God knows you don't want to do that because they're little tossers. But
yeah, they are.
I love games. Yeah. But PES feels like the one. PES feels like the one where they've got something to strive for, and they've got to reclaim this past glory. And judging by it feels like I'm talking about an actual football match in some way, but judging by this performance, it looks like they're on course for the championship this year.
Well, it's all they've got now,
that's strong.
isn't it?
That is strong. I've really enjoyed that.
That's good.
Thank you.
How many kazoos are you going to give yourself?
Yeah.
Myself.
I won't clap.
I'm a bit of a self-hating person, so no kazoos for Ian.
Oh.
Fuck me.
That went downhill quick.
you want to hit of that depression.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, purely because I remember as a kid, my friends that all played football games, to them, back in like 2001 or something like this, whenever this was, Pro Evolution Soccer was the football fans' game.
Yes.
Like, it was like they were all into football properly, and they were like, yeah, FIFA's all right, but if you like football and you understand football, which I didn't, Pro Evo was the game they played. Yeah, so it's nice to hear that it seems like it's getting there again.
I totally agree with them in that, well, in what they're saying, but in that my feeling was in the past, FIFA was the game that introduced gimmicks.
Yes.
And it had the cover stars and it had all that kind of stuff, but it didn't have the substance. But then PES went off the rails, and the FIFA, I think it was FIFA 10, so the one that came out in 2009, was the first one that I bought since about FIFA 96, because PES was just not worth playing anymore.
Yeah.
And I have felt for the last, 6 years like I'm cheating on PES. Because I've played them, but I've not really enjoyed them.
Yeah.
But I was playing FIFA, but I was thinking about PES.
So I want to
now
know.
I don't have to cheat on it. So.
Hooray!
How many kazoos does FIFA get?
It would be absurd to give it anything less than 3. So 3, just because.
I'll take this, Chris, because I know you're livid.
Thanks, mate.
Etc.
Yeah. Beautiful. And Pro Evolution Soccer.
Unsurprisingly, while it looks a bit shitty and it looks like it was probably made on a budget of about 43 quid, 4.
4 kazoos. Wow, you've gone all in, Chris. That's lovely.
I did, yeah. I'm weirdly filled with nostalgia. Just from listening to that talk of Pro Evo, it reminds me of being younger and having all my friends that were super into football and they did their Pro Evolution soccer tournaments and stuff like that.
Sorry.
I'm filled with joy. What?
Reminds me of being younger and having friends.
Yeah, you remember?
We're called the game friends.
Those
but
are the
we're
days.
not.
It's getting really dark, isn't it?
No, I was filled with a sense of whist.
Filled with a sense of ennui.
Yeah, exactly. But speaking of sports games, Steve McNeil,
Hello.
I believe you would like to talk about a sports game as well.
I would like to talk about a sports game. And the game that I've been playing this week, I've only just started, so I'm starting to learn how to play, actually. It's Madden 16.
Oh,
Nice.
Have any of you played that, like this year's one?
I've not played this year's, but I
haven't.
had a period where I was playing NFL games.
So you've played previous
Yes,
titles in the series.
yes.
Have either of you boys?
I played a little bit of the last one.
Okay.
Unless
But-
Mario plays it, no.
Unless Mario plays it.
Generally,
And I-
it's my rule.
There has to be a Mario NFL game or Mario.
Well, what?
There's
No,
not.
it's
No.
it's not in the Olympics, is it?
That's pretty
So it
weird.
wouldn't even be in that.
Someone
Decent
get on
football and
Nintendo.
tennis.
Shigeru,
Yeah.
make it.
Do it.
That's
Mario
weird, isn't it?
Gridiron.
Yeah. Mario, there must be something 16-bit era.
I
I
feel,
suppose
no,
it's
I
just
feel
'cause
like
they-
I'd know.
When Nintendo was Nintendo in America, if
They
you were to play
probably
a
just
game, you were
feel
playing
it's
Nintendo.
not a worldwide sport.
Oh.
Baseball's
Yeah,
a
that's
worldwide
probably
it.
sport. The Olympics is a worldwide thing. Karting, as we all know, is a worldwide
We all do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, so NFL, Madden 16.
Yeah, well, I quite like me American football. I'm sort of
Yes.
getting you into it at the moment.
Well,
Chris.
I'm drawn to it. Like I remember watching a Super Bowl a year or so ago and watching it and thinking, oh, I get this.
Yeah.
I actually get why this is good. And watching it, and I don't even remember what it was, but there was just one amazing pass where a guy threw a ball so far along the field, and a guy ran towards it from the other side and caught it, and it was just like, how have they even coordinated this between each other? One was on like the left, he threw it towards the right of the field, and they met in the middle like a pincer. It was
the
mad.
guy catching the ball Tom Hanks? Was it Forrest Gump?
Well,
It
could
was
have been-
Forrest Gump.
There we
I was
go,
watching.
right, okay.
But actually,
Anyway, yeah.
what you have alluded to in that is
Yes.
exactly why I'm really enjoying getting to grips with this game, because
Yeah.
I've never played an American football game ever. Like I've maybe played one for a few minutes at some point around a mate's house like 20 years ago, maybe,
Probably as much as I
but I
played
don't
15.
remember ever having played one. So although I love American football, I'd never played one of the games, and I didn't really understand how they worked. So I mean, I'm guessing a lot of people haven't played an American football game who listen to this, maybe because why would you? I guess if you're not into it. But
Yeah.
I think there's a certain kind of sports fan where it comes with the territory. You end up playing things like NFL games.
Yeah, of course.
I think I fall into that
And
category.
hockey and
I
that
don't
sort
give
of
a
thing.
shit about ice hockey, and I've played
I've
a lot
always
of
enjoyed
ice
the
hockey
NHL
games
games.
because they're
Yeah.
fun.
Arcade
They were better-
mode on
they were-
that.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
better
yeah,
on the
yeah.
Mega Drive, which is why arcade mode is good.
Exactly.
And NFL games as well. Yes,
Yeah.
I mean,
But it feels like a very distinct subset of gamers.
Yes.
You either do play those sorts of games or you probably don't go anywhere near them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I definitely never did, really, until recently. And the way it works is that you're controlling all the players in terms. So you're deciding what you're going to play. So you know the basics of NFL. You've got 4 downs. You've got to get 10 yards.
Yes.
Over 4. You have 4 goes to move the ball 10 yards nearer the goal that you're going
that
for.
is much
Oh.
better an explanation than they give in the sport.
That
It is, 'cause I
that
never-
is what
all I
football
knew-
is.
They should call them goes, not
Yeah.
downs.
You get 4 goes.
All I got was that you want to make ground. That was the only thing I understood about it. And as soon as you've hit the floor, for some reason you all stop. I don't get that, but I watch it and I'm like, okay, I can get my head around
10
what's
yards and
happening.
then the count resets. That's all you need.
Yeah. You get 4 goes to move 10 yards forward.
Oh, and
From
right,
where the
Once
ball
you've done
is.
at
What
least
if
10 yards,
it just stops?
it resets.
Oh, okay.
You can go
So
as
you
Go
far
back to
as
a
you
fir-
can
you,
go.
you get another first go once you've done 10 yards.
You get another first
Okay.
go. Right, we'll get into this on the
The
NFL
4 goes
podcast.
thing restarts.
No, we'll
Right.
do this because if you need to understand this really before we start.
Okay,
Another game.
right.
So we will. I'll be.
do
Goes
this.
are called downs. So you
Called
get
downs.
4 downs,
Cool.
and so your first down, your first of 4 goes. Put the ball down wherever it was. Downs, unfortunately. You put the ball on the grass.
Yes.
Wherever you're starting from.
Yep.
And then you make a play. So the team decides what they're going to do, who's going to do what.
Get that.
And they try to get the ball towards the goal.
Yep.
You're allowed 4 goes to move it 10 yards forwards.
Why only 10 yards? Why not just...
Because
At
that
least-
is
at
what it
least
is.
10 yards.
At least 10 yards.
And what happens if you don't go 10 yards?
I shall explain that.
Oh, go ahead.
If, firstly, you get 4 goes to move it forwards 10 yards. If you do manage to get it 10 or more yards forward, you start another first go. So you get another 4.
Oh, sweet! You get another 4 goes. So like, I've
Correct.
done 10 yards.
So
we're,
I get- so
we're
it's-
still attacking.
So it's another first down.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So you're just trying to drive the ball forwards, and you're getting 4 goes.
Because it's
to move
two
the
very
teams.
different games, isn't it? It feels like one thing I've got from watching NFL is unlike many other sports where it feels like you're sort of good at everything on the field. You have like attackers, defenders.
No, you do. When
highly
you're
different
attacking,
lineups.
you've
It's
got a
sort
team.
of League of Legends is what it reminded me of.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because we've got into League of Legends, and I was sort of like, oh, you've got your
Different roles. But no, with
Okay.
NFL, it is. You've got when you're attacking.
Yes.
Attacking feels like the wrong word, but it is attacking, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you're attacking, you've got a squad of men, and then when
Tend
you're
to be more
defending,
live
It's a different
and
team.
you,
isn't
it's the big guys
Yes.
to make a wall of hell.
like a
for
different group of guys come out for the defense.
entirely different men, and
Yeah.
there's also a special team which does things like if they're going to punt the ball or do other things. We don't need to get bogged down in that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot
You
of
have a
different
guy who's a
people.
kicker, don't you?
That's his
Yeah,
job.
that's what I was gonna say, I knew
His
that.
job is to come and kick the ball.
Right, I know
really
because
far.
there's
And he
famous
still does it wrong
throwers.
sometimes.
Yeah,
But at what point does it?
that's the
is
one
it-
bit I don't
It's
get. Where it's
not
like
even
your
moving, it's
only
on the
job. yeah.
Why is it called football?
'Cause they're
I've never
assholes.
understood this about American football. Does it explain that?
Well, they kick it sometimes. I think we could go down a really long, tedious cul-de-sac if we tried to get to the bottom of it. But
Yeah.
they do call it football. But there
Okay.
is a lot of throwing.
Right.
But English football is called football because it's association football, but it's also called soccer because of the sock in association.
Lads
Interesting
bands.
facts.
Well,
I heard that. and asked
I didn't even know what to say. I was learned so much there. In
So
like a short
both
space
of those
time.
names, while there are complaints about calling it soccer, both those names are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that wasn't from Wikipedia.
No.
you just knew that.
Yeah, I
We're learning
just
a lot, aren't
invented
we?
that now. No, it is true.
I made it up. No, right.
Anyway, you get 4. And basically, if you do, you now understand. If you get 10 yards or more,
You get
in 4
more.
goes, you
You
get another
get to
4
keep
goes.
attacking.
And the idea is to get it into the end, and that's a touchdown.
Yes.
If after you've had 3 goes, you've got nowhere near the 10 yards, you'll probably just kick the ball as far as you can, and then it's their turn to see what they can do.
You send someone to try and catch it, but they're not going to.
They're not
Yeah.
going to get anywhere near it. Anyway, so that's why it works. And in the game, what happens is you press a button for the man who's holding the ball to throw it back to his mate.
Yep.
And then his mate, the quarterback,
Yep.
decides who he's going to throw it to. So you press a button to lob it.
Is that
You-
what the quarterback is? The guy I've always just called him like the thrower. The guy that they throw it to, and he just stands there, "Whoa," like his arm
It's
in the
why
air,
he's-
waving
That's
around.
why he's the most celebrated and heroic player, because he does good
he
throws.
Yes.
yeah.
Those are the guys that generally, whenever I've watched American football, I've been
Heroic
like,
poses.
Whoa. Yeah.
And they usually work very closely with the coach to decide what the play is that they're going to do on any given move. So they
'Cause
have a
they
lot of
Don't
control
throw
over
to
what-
him, he's a dickhead.
Aren't
that
they?
kind of
Aren't
thing.
they the guys who call out, or is that the guy on the floor that does the 49?
I've honestly got no idea who shouts the numbers.
Yeah, that thing. Is that
I
calling the
think it is
play?
the quarterback.
I know that
I
from
think
films.
he is calling
It
the
feels
play.
like it would be,
They-
but
they
I don't
do
know.
Yeah.
audibles or something, and I'm probably confused now.
Anyway,
Someone
but
can
yeah,
write in and
so
correct
you
us.
then play the guy chucking the ball.
Yep. So you choose. So what you'll get is you'll get several people who you could throw it to, and when gameplay starts, and obviously they're coming towards you to try to get the ball off you and knock your quarterback over, you'll see the guys that you could throw to running, and you've got a choice of which button you press to decide who you're going to try to pass the ball to.
Yeah.
And then once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you're then, whichever one you threw it to, you're controlling them and timing button presses and things to catch it. And you can make choices about,
Or what, like QuickTime style?
yeah, a little bit.
Okay. I'm not adverse to QuickTime.
No. It's
yeah.
actually wonderful in the context of
Yeah.
the game. And so you choose whether you want to focus on, I just want to make sure I grab the ball and then I'll hit the floor because I just want to make sure I get the catch. You might choose to play a different one where you go, or actually I'm going to try to get a running catch so that I can really get distance off it. But because I choose that, I'm more likely to get knocked over by the opposing team. So it is sort of QuickTime events, but it makes perfect sense because what you do is you go, okay, it's second down and we've got another 7 yards to go.
I understand.
I'm
this
going
now.
to
This is brilliant.
I'm going to choose this sort of play, which you pick from a menu. You choose which thing you want to do, and then you start it. And then in real time, you're responding to what's happening on the pitch in front of you. You choose where you want to pass it, and then you get to be them to try to receive the ball.
Yeah.
So, as someone who's hated QuickTime events pretty much my entire life,
Have you?
I know you don't mind.
No, not at all.
I find it frustrating because it always takes me out of it.
Yeah.
Within the context of American football, having had no idea how you played an American football game, it feels like a perfect solution to give you control. Given I'm crap at running around in FIFA, but it's joyous. I'm
should-
really loving it.
Yeah,
and I had
they
no
should
idea that was even a way you could play a game.
That's awesome.
Until about I love it so much.
They should sell it to markets outside the US, then not as a sports game, as a real-time strategy game.
There you go.
Yeah.
And as you say, it does work really well in the context of the game because everything's so
perfect for it.
segmented and there's so many stops and stuff for you to plan and
Yeah,
think of different
which again
things.
is stupid because you go, obviously in America, Madden is fucking massive and has been forever. Of course, as with FIFA, or pairs or whatever. They've refined and worked out the best way to let you play this massive game.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a brilliant, fun game to play.
Because it sells to everyone.
But
Everyone has to be able to
but
play
I had
it.
no idea. And it's wonderful.
Have you noticed how, now this is coming from someone who hasn't actually played a Madden in a few years, but have you noticed how great the commentary and stuff is?
It's spectacular.
It's just the best.
Everything
commentary.
about it is wonderful.
American sports games, the NFL, NHL, and NBA games get commentary and the coverage and stuff so spot on.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of the coverage,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just doesn't annoy me as much as football commentary does in games.
Yeah, I think because obviously, I mean, I'm just trying to convert you, Chris, into American football. And
It's an
we're getting there.
expensive prospect is the only thing that's holding me back at the moment.
Getting the Game Pass to watch
You need
all the
that Game
matches
Pass
and,
thing, and that thing
Wow.
costs a chunk of
Wow.
change.
I mean, we're getting distracted slightly, but we are talking about American football.
Yes.
If you get the Game Pass, if you're into American football, they have.
It's available on the Xbox One, so it's
There we go.
it's
That's our link.
linked.
It's totally
they-
yeah.
You know how American football takes forever? It's
Yes.
like watching cricket. They
So
do
it
a
can be
thing
like 3 hours.
Yeah, but
like
they do a thing
game.
on the Game Pass where they do condensed matches. You can watch the entire game in about 35 minutes because
That's what
it's
it
just
is.
the plays.
Yeah.
So you can watch an entire. It's wonderful.
Oh wait,
I watched
wait, wait.
3 on the train.
Do you mean like
It's
so?
amazing.
By just the plays, do you mean they literally cut out all the waiting around,
Yeah.
all the doing nothing?
So
it's just
All
like
the ad
yeah.
breaks and everything.
wow. Oh, that's much better.
You can watch a game in like half an hour.
Yeah.
My
It's
friends and I
incredible.
used to, we'd have in my living room in the house I lived in Leeds, we had 2 TVs set up. One of them was for sports that we
Hmm.
watched, so it was football and stuff, and we would watch American football when it was on late at night.
Yeah.
The other TV would constantly have Pez on it.
Yeah.
So we'd be watching American football while playing game, and you can do that because you don't have to
you've
be
got-
constantly paying
It's
attention.
like watching
to
cricket.
It.
It's you can take your time. But
Sports lads.
in
Lads.
short, it's amazing. I think the sad thing is that a lot of people in this country still don't really understand American football.
It's definitely getting there, though.
It's getting
No,
there.
it is, and the
They're
Wembley
bringing
games are
games
great.
over
That's
here.
what happening. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait for that first one in a couple of weeks.
Oh, is it? Have you got
season
you
pass,
going?
mate?
Oh,
Yeah,
of course you
can't
have.
wait.
Yeah.
But even if you've not, if anybody's listening and thinks they might like it, there really isn't much to American football to understand the basics. And if you can find a little video on YouTube, it'll take you 5 minutes to understand the game. If I didn't make any sense on this, find out about it and then try the game. It is, even if you don't care about American football, it's such a fun game. It's so well crafted.
How many kazoos?
It's 4 kazoos.
Wow.
4 kazoos, man.
4 kazoos.
Darn. So yeah, it's been a bit sporty, laddie,
Bit sports.
bit sports lads. But
Bants.
next time,
Toes pants.
fear not, Simon.
Oh, tell me why I should not fear.
Don't fear,
Tell me.
Simon.
Yeah.
I'm so scared.
I've got something for
Ease
you.
me.
Nintendo.
Ooh.
We're just going to talk
What?
about Nintendo. Nintendo.
Is that a new sport?
It's not a new sport.
What?
Taekwondo, like a martial arts.
Like
thing.
it's a bit like a
You got
martial art.
Nintendo'd right in the face there.
It's the martial arts of fun. But basically, I don't know a ton about Nintendo, and I know Simon loves them. I know you love them, Stephen McNeil.
I love them so
And
much.
Ian, I imagine even your.
Oh no! Even
How
my,
much?
my-
How much bum cheek is on the fence?
there's no bum cheek on
Oh,
fence for that. I'm
Wow.
wiping my backside on that field.
Oh,
in
good.
a loving
In
way.
the good field.
Yeah.
Dragging it like a dog.
Yeah, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Scooting around, going Nintendo.
So yeah. Also, before we go, I do want to say thank you very much to all the people that left some very kind messages on Twitter, which you can follow us at Game Friends Pod. You can follow us there on Twitter. A lot of people
good.
did get in contact saying they liked the episode, and we
Thank you.
charted on our very first episode. We were number 2 in games and hobbies.
Yeah, yeah,
Which
for a
is
couple of
mental.
hours. It's great.
We were there.
Day one, mate.
Yeah,
day one. It's a
one.
good start.
That was
Yeah.
brilliant.
No, genuinely, thank you to everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
And if you do like it, do subscribe and
Yeah.
do reviews on iTunes and of stars and all
Reviews
that
on
stuff.
iTunes do
That
help.
all helps.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, because Apple noticed that, and then they feature you and stuff like that. And more people find it, and we all have fun, and we can all be game friends together. So
we
thanks
can.
a lot, everyone. Forever. Yeah, forever. So I will see you next time, friends.
Bye.
Hey.